The choice of the topic for today is deliberate, and we're talking about productivity enhancement, which presupposes that we're talking to people who are already productive, who are already professional in their line of work and doing great things. And all we're talking about here is just an enhancement of what you already do, and if you like, a motivation to be able to do it even better. Go to the next slide. The objective of this training is to inspire a well-motivated, empowered team of public affairs officers for the Lagos State Civil Service. At the end of this presentation, we'll be uncovering hidden potentials. Note, we're not saying discovery, we're saying uncovering, which means that the potentials are already there. We just help to bring them to the fore. We'll be designing, participants will be able to design new personal strategies for growth. And the reason for that is that you cannot be useful to your organization if you're not useful first to yourself. If you're not sufficiently motivated, there's nothing you can do even for your organization. And whether we like it or not, for every worker, every employee, your first interest is to yourself before your organization. And so if you are not fulfilled, the organization can hardly benefit from you. And then hopefully, if we have time, there's an exercise we're going to do to build trust and teamwork. And we'll be looking at understanding how effective communication and collaboration aids government's program. And finally, hopefully we'll be able to appreciate the power of vision alignment for sustainable, if you like, development or governance. And so in doing all of this, we're going to start with a critical question. And that question is, who am I? I'd like to illustrate this with a very short story. Now this happened near a train station in Washington, D.C. There was this gentleman who was playing a violin. And people were just passing by, they hardly noticed him. You know, after about maybe 20 minutes into it, somebody just came, dropped some money, didn't even wait, just passed. After about a few more minutes, a kid was trying to, stop by him, but the mother was pulling the kid away. A few children like that. Long story cut short, by the end of 1 hour, he had had 20 people drop money for him, and he had made a total collection of about $32. But here's the interesting part of that story. Just a few days ago, this same man, his name is Joshua Bell, had performed to a capacity theater where the least amount that was paid was $100. The violin he was playing was worth $3.5 million, okay? But what happened? At that point, nothing had changed. He was who he was. He has not changed. He's still Joshua Bell, okay? But it was a problem of perception. And so, as public affairs officers, we cannot leave things to chance. In one instant, he was a celebrity. In another instant, he was like a nobody. Was he a different person? He was the same person. Isn't that true? And so, I want to refer us, permit me to do this. We have, for me, perception, the issue of perception. One of my greatest examples is in the Bible, where Jesus asked his disciples, he said, who do men say that I am? How many of you recall that question? He said, who do men say that I am? As innocent as that question may have seemed, let me tell you where the payoff came. It was traditional during Passover for Pontius Pilate to release a criminal. Just like during special occasions, Independence Day, a governor may grant pardon. There was Jesus, a righteous man on the one hand, and there was Barabbas, an Anini of his time. A kidnapper, a mass murderer, very notorious criminal on the other hand. And when these two people were brought before the public, and he said, who should I release? Guess who? Who did they say he should release? Barabbas. Why did they not release an obviously innocent man? It's a problem of perception. And so, as government public affairs officers, you know there have been several several administrations that have done so well, and yet they are vilified by the public. Is that not so? You know you're doing very well. You know the administration is doing very well. But the question is, does the public know that the administration is doing very well? And so you cannot live, perception is probably the only reality that people may have. It is too dangerous to live to chance. It is something that must be managed. I would call it perception engineering. Okay? It is important how you are perceived. Quite frankly, people will relate to you like they related to Joshua Bell, depending on how you are perceived. You can be an angel, you can be the best person. Some people say, me, I don't care. I am this and that. You're in the business of caring about your image, first of all, and the image of the organizations that you're managing. Let's go to the next. And in doing that, I want to tell you a little more about who you are. I hope all of you can see the slide here. Be very, very honest. I would like, okay, let me have two volunteers, a man and a woman, please. Two volunteers, come forward. A man and a woman. And then the second microphone. Quickly, because of time. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. Come forward. Where's the other microphone? Okay, don't worry. I'll give you the microphone. Now, if you were here, this is a marathon. This picture is from the Boston Marathon, one of the most famous marathons in the world. There are men and women here. In all honesty, and I'm not talking about being positive-minded, if you were to take part in this marathon, let's say there are 10,000 people, what position, in all honesty, do you think you will come? Be honest.
I can't.
Eh?
I can't perform it.
You can't. You say you can't perform it. Okay, let's hear about that.
I can't fathom it.
You can't fathom it.
Yeah, I can't decide.
No, but just.
So obviously, I can't be between 1 and 50.
You can't be between 1 and 50. Okay.
It depends on where.
Then it doesn't matter. You can be in front. Look at these athletes there. Even if they put you several meters in front, and there are 10,000 people.
I can be in front.
It's a 20-kilometer race. Not it depends. Give me an answer. In the middle. So which means you'll be around number 5,000. Thank you very much. Do you know the implication of that statement? If you are not number 1, you are already dead. Now let me come home. This race, for every one of you to be present here today, you competed against not less than 200 million sperms. You were the only one among those 200 million or so that made it to the egg, or you would not have been alive today. It was the most important race of your life. If you could if you didn't make it to that egg, you could never have been alive. And so it was a race you had to win. And what does that suggest? That you were a champion at conception. Can you clap for yourself? You were a champion at conception. You have no excuse not to be a champ. You have no excuse not to be a winner. Absolutely none. If you didn't win that race, you would have been dead. But here's the interesting part. I spoke to somebody earlier today. I said, I like the fact that there are many women here today. You know, sometimes, especially for a woman, and I want to really motivate the women here, sometimes people say to you, you are the weaker vessels, or you are this, you are that. I want to open your mind to a big secret today. Some of you may know that, but it's some things we call secrets are obvious, but we don't take them, seriously. If you did basic biology, you would have known about the X and Y chromosomes. Is that so? Or you've heard about it. Now the egg from the woman is the X chromosome. Now the man releases X or Y. Where he releases a Y, a sperm that carries the Y chromosome, when it connects to the egg, the product, the zygote, will become a boy. If it is X, it will become what? A girl. Is that not so? So it depends. It can be X, it can be Y. The man is a donor. Now, the point I want to draw your attention here is the fact that when those sperms were released, there were Y sperms with the Y chromosome, there were sperms with the X chromosome. Dear woman, dear lady, you beat all those men who ran with you to make it to that egg. That is the reason why you are alive today. Is there any reason as a woman you cannot perform at the very top? Is there any reason anybody should tell you that you are not fit to be in a certain position when you have beaten millions of men to make it to the egg? Men, don't be angry with me. Don't look at me with a bad eye. Women, clap for yourselves. You are a champion. You are a champion. And so, like I said, you know, instead of talking about who you are, you must recognize what is in you and who you are. Like I said, if you say you can, you are correct. If you say you can't, you are also correct. You're only limited by your thought and by yourself. But at conception, you were a champ.